everyone, and welcome back to the Go Westeros YouTube channel. In this episode, just like we did last time, I'll be looking at 3 minor houses of Westeros. Last week we looked at House Farman, Karen and Royce, and this week we'll be looking at House Ambrose of the Reach, House Celtigar or Celtigar of the Crownlands, and House Uller of Dawn. This is where in the world, and at this point I should mention that this does contain spoilers for all 5 novels in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, so if you're not up to date I wouldn't continue on much further. I'm your host Jack, and let's dive right into it. Never resting are the words of the noble House Ambrose from the Kingdom of the Reach. They blazon their shields with a yellow field of red ants, and they're currently ruled by the Lord Arthur Ambrose, who is married to the Lady Alysanne Hightower. They have a young son, Alan Ambrose. There isn't much information on House Ambrose in the history annals of Westeros, other than that they supported the Blacks during the Dance of the Dragons. Sir Eustace Osgrey proclaims Sir Aubrey Ambrose as one of the outstanding supporters of the Black Dragon's cause. We first meet House Ambrose in A Clash of Kings. They follow their Tyrell overlords into declaring for Renly Baratheon and the outset of the War of the Five Kings. While on the march with Renly's army, Sir Edmund Ambrose, of unknown relation, is one of the knights who starts the wager on poor Brienne of Tarth's maidenhood. She obviously recounts that story. After Renly's death, however, the Ambroses continue to stay loyal to the Tyrells and march with the Tyrell Lannister host to Blackwater. They fight in the battle, and it's noted that the squire, Alan Ambrose, the heir to House Ambrose, slays a Mirris crossbowman and a Mullendall man-at-arms during the fighting. In A Storm of Swords, it's revealed that young Alan is rewarded a betrothal to Eleanor Tyrell. She is the lady-in-waiting to Lady Marjorie. He wore her favour also during the battle. Later, men of House Ambrose march with Lord Randall Tarley to pacify the Crownlands. In the next book, A Feast for Crows, Brienne of Tarth sees the sigil of House Ambrose collected from the dead after the Battle of Duskendale. It's unknown what happens to the members of House Ambrose. Maybe we'll find out in the Winds of Winter. Moving on. House Celtigar, or Celtigar, I say Celtigar, are a noble house ruling Claw Isle in the narrow sea off of the coast of Crackclaw Point. Historically, they served Dragonstone and govern Crackclaw Point, even though that's disputed. The current Lord Celtigar, see I'm saying Celtigar now, either one, is Lord Adrian, called the Red Crab. He's an old and sour man. House Celtigar is an ancient and proud house with the blood of old Valyria in their veins. Crispian Celtigar served as the Master of Coin for Aegon the Conqueror himself. And as mentioned, they are supposed to rule over Crackclaw Point, but the inhabitants of the point do not actually acknowledge their claim. Often, when Lord Celtigar sends men to collect taxes from them, few return. So I guess they're not well liked by their small folk. During the Dance of the Dragons in history, Lord Bartimus Celtigar sat on the Black Council of Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen. The Celtigar's castle, which name is not actually known to us, other than that it's on Claw Isle, is rumoured to hold fabulous treasures that bear witness to House Celtigar's wealth. Mirrish carpets, Volantine glass, gold, silver, rare birds such as a war eagle and trained hawks, rubies, a horn that is said to summon krakens from the deep, and even a Valyrian steel axe. We first meet House Celtigar in A Clash of Kings. Lord Adrian answers Stannis Baratheon's summons when he crowns himself king. Lord Celtigar's contribution to Stannis' fleet is the ornate ship called Red Crab. After the Battle of the Blackwater, Lord Adrian is made prisoner. He ends up bending the knee to King Joffrey and remains at King's Landing thereafter. The last we hear of House Celtigar is in A Storm of Swords. Sir Axel Florent suggests sacking Claw Isle to Stannis because, House Celtigar surrendered to King Joffrey. During the trial of Tyrion Lannister, Lord Adrian declares that he once heard Tyrion threatening the boy king. And that's it. That's all we have for them. Might be a short episode, this. Let's move on to the third house. House Uller is one of the great noble houses of Dawn. They blazon their arms with a round yellow shield embossed with red flames. Their keep, Hellholt, is in the middle of the Dornish desert, and they are reputed to be impulsive and unpredictable. A Dornish saying is, half the Ullers are mad and the other half are worse. You know, if I was going to have a house to myself, that's pretty badass. Them being situated in the middle of the desert means they are likely of the sandy Dornish persuasion with dark skin. They're currently ruled by Lord Harmon. Although it says here that in history the Ullers were Andal adventurers who settled along the Brimstone River. So over time, the sun has darkened their skin, perhaps, unless they have kept their Andal ethnicity. The Hellholt itself is named after an event in which rivals were invited to the castle, locked within and burned to death. Wow, that's just, come on in, I'm going to set you on fire. They supported House Nymeros Martell and the alliance with House Martell and Queen Nymeria against House Ironwood. After the death of Mors Martell, Nymeria's first husband, Nymeria married the current Lord Uller. At the start of the First Dornish War, Lord Harlan Tyrell's army found the Ullers had fled their castle. When the Dornish later rebelled in the war, the Tyrell men disappeared in the sands. So that kind of suggests to me that these are the men-at-arms of House Uller know their sands in and out. They might have traps set up somewhere, which is cool. I hope you get to see that sometime. Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen and her dragon Meraxes were both lost at the Hellholt in 10 AC. Their bodies were never recovered, and some say the Queen was tortured by the Ullers. We first meet the Ullers in a storm of swords when Lord Harmon, his brother Sir Ulwick, and his bastard daughter Ellaria Sand arrive in King's Landing with the Dornish contingent. Ellaria is, of course, Prince Oberyn Martell's paramour and the mother to 3 of his children, I believe. Could be wrong, someone can correct me there. In a feast for crows, Arianne Martell plans to crown Princess Marcella Baratheon at Hellholt when conceiving her conspiracy, trusting House Uller to join her cause. Later, after her arrest, Arianne ponders asking the Ullers for help, but later rejects it as being too dangerous. So I guess the saying about half of them being mad and the other half being worse is probably true. In A Dance of Dragons, House Uller is present at the feast when Sir Balon Swan of the Kingsguard arrives in Sunspear to deliver the head of the mountain, Sir Gregor Clegane. It's noted that they don't drink when Rakasso, the seneschal of Lord Doran Martell, raises a drink to King Tommen. And that's all we have on House Uller. I think this might be a bit of a short episode, but they're one of the more interesting houses to me. I'm not a big fan of Dorne. I've not really been interested in much of Dorne. But the Ullers seem pretty cool, and I'd like to see them a bit more. So, as we wrap up on House Uller, we wrap up on this episode of Where in the World. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found at least some of what I said helpful in your quest to gain as much knowledge of this world as possible. Remember to find me on Twitter at GoWesteros. That's at GoWesteros. Drop me a comment, a tweet, some advice, some criticism, or please just say hello. I've been Jack, your host, and I'll see you later.